呀，我看一下啊。啊。阅读妖怪的图鉴哦。说应该这个吧，跟这个作战的时候是石油，然后伊格尼之印或者是亚登之印，伊格尼火焰或者是亚登魔法陷阱。
Faster.
看一下，我目前人这里，然后我们要去这里哦。这附近有那个吗？好像没有。这里最近的小镇，我觉得这个小镇上面应该会有那个传送点吧。好，我先过去那个地方看看。好，然后好，哎呀，今天晚安，晚安呐，晚安呐。那这里被，哇，这里好多酒哦。通气令杂种，奇怪，怎么感觉这边画质是调太高吗？哦，有了，比较顺了。然后，这附近有那个嘛，怪物的巢穴啊，我先。哦，他在楼上哦，那个我要怎么上去啊？不行。
Harpies got their nest here.
最近聊天室都很安静的，没有啊，就反正都这样子啊。 毕竟是小台啊，这安静好像也没安静也没关系啊。每次看到巫师，你都在想海哥说的，你是个巫师哈利。后面他的巫师就是这种巫师。你说波特的波特的那个巫师是魔法师的巫师，然后我们的巫师是猎魔人的巫师啊。稍后再回来 ，OK 啊 ，OK。只是杰洛特。只是在巫师的世界观里面，他们猎魔人啊，我记得他们虽然说猎魔人跟女术士他们两个都是算是变种人吗？还是说就只有猎魔人是变种人？因为在巫师的世界观里面，通常人们很对于变种人，就是对于杰洛特这种猎魔人而言是极度鄙视的。但反而他们好像对于女术士而言不会那么鄙视之类的。
Craft something for
亚登之印哦，低等束缚印这应该是短弓哦，这短弓那大人就没办法打造啦。看一下，要我拆解哦。这个十字镐，然后烧瓶，这个是打造的斧头。等我一下，我会习惯性的把身上的一些捡到的废弃物啊，都把它拿去给工匠他们拆解成那个原材料。这应该也是，这个也是，然后这个呢，这个也是。啊，为什么它不能卖啊？哭啊！骑士哦，啊，他钱不够，干你这个工匠师傅钱也太少了吧？
so
那这位呢？你钱不要太少啊！我有很多东西要卖你啊！看起来这位应该偏正常了。好了。猎魔巫师哈利波特直接不讲武德，一剑砍爆伏地魔。但问题是伏地魔他，我觉得伏地魔应该不是，应该是接近狂烈之王的等级吧？应该不是杰洛特一个人就能够单枪匹马干掉他的那种啊，是吧？我觉得，如果今天是杰洛特要跟伏地魔打，我觉得周围应该至少要有耶奈法或者是特翠斯这种女术士在旁边辅助他，因为猎魔人他们会的那个法术其实也只是用于那个对抗那个魔物怪物而已啊，他们又不是专门在法师对法师的，你要法师对法师那个是女术士才行的啊。
never a good omen.
这啥？什么狗啊？他们 他们会那个会直接瞬移闪现
Regis' raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place. Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something.
刚刚好像是说幽灵犬，你说他那个幽灵犬吗？他那个算是地狱犬吧？这边都是汤匙。对我来说，我顺便说一下，就是目前我们主线就是我们找到了我们的老朋友吸血鬼嘛，然后我们现在要引出另外一位吸血鬼，然后我们需要引出那位吸血鬼，需要先做一个诱导剂，然后那诱导剂它需要我们去收集材料。他说话跟蝙蝠侠一样，听不太清楚。你说杰洛特的声音吗？如果是杰洛特的声音的话，不行了我这边算是蛮大声的帮我，然后好，这样子应该可以。
Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around.
不是杰洛特，你还是直接这样进去哦。
Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred.
他收集好多汤匙哦。
Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship must have graced a rich man's table.
日记。就可安呐。啊，我知道为什么这个幽灵会一直收集汤匙了。这家伙是个他原本是一个有洁癖的人呐、他有点像是他想要吃东西，但是问题是他没有一个看得上眼的汤匙，所以他一直在收集汤匙，所以因此就这样子，走火入魔了。
Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant.
好多汤匙哦，但是这汤匙可以干嘛？
Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe?
还好不是他用汤匙在杀人的杀人魔，但他有点像是被怪物附身啊。你一个杀人魔跟被怪物附身人，我觉得好像也没有什么好的汤匙钥匙。
Sophisticated crafting.
啊？
Tag bears a description. White's a true collector.
汤匙钥匙是什么鬼东西啊？这个拍卖的，这应该是支线。
Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
他的痛苦跟草药师无关，那应该是我猜啦，应该是原本被附身的那个小女孩啊，她可能在被附身之前，他们家的人有去找那个草药医师来帮她做什么事情吧，然后那个草药医师走了之后，她就被附身了吧？我在想，应该是这样，应该可以解释得通。
broken neck, indentation in the skull's lateral surface, smacked in the head with something heavy. No claw or fang marks, probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off, teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him.
那还有吗？
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
这里还有地下室哎！以前人不是都用什么草、什么香、什么草之类的净化？他们不都是用？我觉得他们最常用不是用大蒜来避吸血鬼吗？
Does seem like a white's lair. Bit atypical, but still.
他们会用大蒜，然后跟用盐巴当做大蒜避吸血鬼，然后盐巴的话，我印象中记得是，因为盐巴它能够使食材脱水，延长保鲜期，所以他们认为盐巴也有那个驱邪的那个功能。等我一下哦。
I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one.
糟了，他注意到我们杰洛特了。
Gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it.
不是吧，杰洛特，你要喝这个东西吗？哦天哪！
Tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you.
你的汤匙不能满足你，永远别想在镜中看到你的倒影。
We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons.
汤的反射可以看到自己，这算是倒影吗？应该不算吧。
Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness.
看来诅咒有被转移到杰洛特身上的样子哦，但杰洛特
Think it worked. Just quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find.
等我一下，我蛮想要去看看他会怎么样的哎。
Stench.
跟着妖鬼所主煎药所发出的恶臭，他应该是他诅咒有开始被破解，但是我们还不知道他是怎样。然后我必须说，如果假设这个换成是普通人跟他吃晚餐的话，那可能会是那个跟他吃晚餐那个人直接变异吧？啊，幸好我们杰洛特是猎魔人，因此他可以他可以扛下这个变异的那个东西。诅咒转移或者是破解来看看吧。其实我蛮希望他诅咒是破解的啊，但是从刚刚杰洛特的那个表现来看，我觉得他应该是被转移。哎，好像破解成功了哎。
Easy, not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
哎，他破解成功了哎，只是他好老哦。
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here.
希望是少女就有这个阿嬷，哎，我也希望她是个少女
Finally
哎。
to make your acquaintance, sir. Though I do regret the specific circumstances. In all the commotion, I fear I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Barnabas Basilfolti, and by order of the Duchess, I am to serve as your major domo at Corfo Bianco.
Nice to meet you, Barnabas Basil. Love to talk more, but got urgent matters to attend to. While I'm gone, please make sure she gets everything she needs.
Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry.
然后我猜他就是不爽喂那个乞丐吃东西吃，所以把他赶走。
For the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs.
还真的
The beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry.
所以刚刚那3个选项有2个都是跟汤匙有关的，一个是我们用汤匙吃，一个是我们交换汤匙吃。如果我在想，会不会如果那时候我们选择前2个都要用汤匙吃的话，他的诅咒一样没办法解除，所以变成说我们还是必须要跟他打斗。
forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colourful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone.
你一开始也是想交换汤匙吃，我必须说，我那时候在想，也是不是交换汤匙吃，但是我觉得感觉好像又不太像是这样，所以我就又看了一次他那个咒语的那个片段的那个是怎么讲的。我看了2次之后，我觉得应该他有提到什么找不到你满意的汤匙，所以我在想，会不会意思就是说我们不能用汤匙吃，所以我后面才选择第3项。
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill.
你要参观葡萄园呢。
Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
哈？
Pretty vast.
Indeed.
真的假的？
Now,
这
sir, allow me
这
to
些都
show
是
you a
都是我
handful
们
of
杰洛特
interesting
的。
details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of majordomos. My father was a majordomo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great aunt. In fact, she was the one
所以
to
我
start
们
the
杰洛特
tradition.
是被赋了那个爵位啊，不然怎么会有给这一块庄园？然后这块庄园感觉里面也有几户人家要我们
She signed
们
on
管
as a
理、欸。
chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to majordomo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
所以这边都是他的帮佣所居住的地方嘛啊，管家自己一个人住这个绿色的，那旁边这个掉漆的，难不成就是其他奴仆住的地方吗？
Follow me, please. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now either.
当猎魔人也是需要有点财力，不然贫困的猎魔人只能去拿木桩啊，
Down
杀
below
吸
lies
血
your
鬼。
vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
看你们这边就单纯只种葡萄而已哦，种葡萄干嘛？酿酒。
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda. Follow me, please. Monsieur Bolius's wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation.
他这里应该是着重在跟我们介绍这一座庄园的
Madame Nina planted
用处吧。
delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
所以他是不是说我们可以在这边取得免费的药草啊？反正有这么大庄园，我们又是这个庄园主，那我们合理就是可以说，我不要种葡萄了，我要去种我们猎魔人需要用到的那些草药，不然每次缺草药的时候都要去跟那个草药医生买。 虽然说是草药也不是说很贵就是了啦，但是多少都是要花钱的啊，感觉有点违和
This
啊。
served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work, and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
不是你要让萝卜住在这里，你萝卜应该有专门的马厩啊，为什么你要让它住在那个仓库的地方啊？
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which...
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
说不定以后是自己来种草药，然后畜牧，再雇佣其他人帮忙。畜牧应该不用吧，就种草药就行了。
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
Follow me, please. And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes. We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone.
我必须说他这个管家还人，我觉得他还不错哎，他竟然会为我们杰洛特的职业而设想哎。
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompali once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the
我以为他只会推荐我们就是一些种植的东西而已。
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
通常这种维修家具的价格一看就会让人当场破产，不会啊？他刚刚那磨刀石跟那个铠甲维修桌这两个都各1000块而已啊，而我们杰洛特目前身上有8000块啊。
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompeli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
哇，干5000块，好贵哦。我目前应该还有6000多，但是这个花下去就，好啦，花啦，
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
忍痛，
I shall
忍
get
痛
to
吧。
work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists.
没关系，没关系，这个我后面再做支线，然后抢别人东西的，然后把钱给赚回来就行了。
2 days after
只
the
是这个会需要
your
更
eyes
长的
will
时间
behold
呐、
your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state.
而且我在那个十字星里面的那个什
Is
么
there anything-
那个符
anything
文
else
石工匠
you
那
require,
边
sir?
我还没升到顶哎，我符文石工匠那边我还缺3万块的资金，让它变成顶的啊。
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk.
I shall be glad.
Starting to.
I agree.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
好了，铠甲架哦。为什么？是因为我身上……哦，原来如此，因为我身上有这个东西呀、啊。 最后抢钱完成荒野大镖客吗？没有，你要知道我的荒野大镖客我也没我的那个什么亚瑟也没有完成那么十恶不赦啊，我亚瑟玩的算是好好先生派的啊。虽然说我会偶尔乱杀无辜就是了，应该是这里吧。 它竟然有一个战利品放置，没有战利品，这里都是战利品放置箱哎。啊，这个人画画我也没有画、啊。要不我把狼学派的都拿过来好了。 高等狼学派，嗯，哦有，我都拿了。哟，看起来不错哎。那武器这边呢？啊，为什么它只能放1把？好，2把有了。恢复白葡萄园以前的荣耀，等待3天让整体装修完成。这上面有什么？他说这上面是客房，但被当作仓库用哎。
I thank you. So tasty. Oh, so good.
这里应该是啊，对，那个柴火房加厨房吧。
I forgot.
好了，那我看一下这个是，哎，这是支线任务吗？好，那我们就开始做主线吧。
Oh, so fit. Greetings.
我看一下这附近应该有，有这里。
A man who dare not
I
down
forgot
some
him.
wretch is a man who would twice like to cut his head.
Lo and behold, it's better.
我看一下这里嘛， 杰洛特背后背2把，然后背后背2把格斗时候，在打斗的时候一手一把，直接变双剑武掌。那你不能一手一把吧？他背2把剑，一个是钢剑，一个是银剑呐，两个对付的人不同啊。哎、雷吉斯，我带了你要的唾液过来了、啊。哎、他人呢？
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned the last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be
就
a
是你
problem.
们啊！
I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
啊？
Not sure I
为什么不能
understand
用你的
the
血啊
problem？
你不是也是
Can't you
吸
just
血
draw
鬼
some
啊
of your blood?
你不是
The
对啊
blood？ must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True, but I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes 2 of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
吸血鬼血跟蜂蜜一样不纯看透，为什么？为什么？反正刚刚雷吉斯有说了，他们这些高等的吸血鬼在改变自己的那个外观的时候，同时也会动到他们的类似血液中的 DNA 的要素，所以他如果要取雷吉斯他本身的血的话，可能就是要把它我在想啦，可能是要让它变成激发出吸血鬼的欲望之类的吧。但吸血鬼有欲望是什么？吸血吧，应该是只有吸血吧。也就是说，如果要激发出，要让雷吉斯他目前的血液变回吸血鬼的那个 DNA 的话，就是要让他激起那个吸别人血液的欲望。啊，他说在这种情况下，他周围的人会很危险，但有什么好危险的？干我们可是杰洛特我们可是很有名的那个兽魔猎人啊，那我们还会怕你这个高等吸血鬼吗？
All
我
right.
都不
So
知
what
道
do
手
you
起
wanna do?
刀落多
We
少
shall
是吸血
visit
鬼了。
Teshumudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Teshumudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood. that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshem Mugna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite
全
steel.
部都是对魔
Kagmar
物
was
有
captured
的那
and locked
个
in a cage, sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
哇，
See
那个
no
那个
reason to
那个
doubt.
笼子好狠哦！
Teshem would
但是
know.
问题是，他们吸血鬼有怕银质的东
One
西
last
哦。我以为怕银质的东西就只有怪物跟那个狼人呢，因为吸血鬼也会怕哦。
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. 1 drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt, but you must remain calm. I have no choice.
所以他们吸血鬼本身对血液本身会有欲望
Eyes cast.
啊，但是他们
The
但
time we
我
set off for Teshem
then-
Mudna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
哎，对耶。那我真的很怀疑，等到我们后面把他那个对于血液的渴望逼到极限之后，那我们要怎么让他冷静下来啊？还是说我们就直接在那边放生他，然后过一阵子再回来找找他，然后问你还会不会想要吸血之类
We
的？
have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
You lead.
啊，有人死了欸，所以代表这附近也有吸血鬼吗？
Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger.
哎，不是吸血鬼哦。
Beyond this wall lies
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once. Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other.
人类饲养的照顾，
Human husbandry and care. This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last here.
Cliffs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems this cliff to sound a peculiar little
They
library.
ventured beyond the sea.
Whose is this cliff?
Amarun. They ventured beyond the sea.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Whose is this cliff?
Amarun. They ventured beyond the sea.
他们竟然把人类叫做是低等生物，哎，干你们是有多高等啊？
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
种族优越感。你要这样说，感觉也是啊，因为毕竟连人类本身都以前也有那种就是白人至上主义这种那种种族歧视吧。当然说现在应该也是有。
But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain.
啊！你们他妈的，你们这个也太狠了吧！
Treated them like livestock, live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it, ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. Its stench is so thick, I wager it carries a clear to load bag.
好了，
This'll hold. Doesn't look like anything special.
I told you, Kagmar thrashed about inside it for over 2 centuries. Appearances can be deceiving.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent, also my head. I started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
他直接把他手给关住哎、
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, you won't be able to. We must forge through this, that is all.
We just have smelled the blood.
It grows. Worse and worse. I shall overcome.
Good, because I can hear more coming. Hold on, I'll let you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you.
我靠，杰洛特你完全不怕哎！要是我的话，我应该会很害怕。我把它放出来，他会不会还忍不住那个吸血欲望？
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you, the pain is my way of paying my debt.
The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff.
If I had to do it again, I would, in a heartbeat.
Resonance, it's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
所以我们要喝了那个煎药，然后共同体验我们那位朋友他到底是遇到什么事情，所以以至于说要当一个连环杀人犯，是吧？
Excuse me. Actually, let me take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting.
Sir,
Count, sir.
you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef?
哎，梦作者晚安啦，晚安啦。
And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
原来是这样子哦，是他把那个伯爵宰完之后，他又把自己的手给切断。然后现在这个伯爵已经不复存在，但是他还那个。但是他还没有解释为什么他要开始当那个连续杀人犯的原因啊。
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detlef had made friends with him, still killed him, chopped up his corpse, and he was overcome with fury, remorse, cut off the...
等等，我突然想起来，我突然梳理通了，就是那个伯爵，他跟那个什么。我们那个连环杀人犯的那个吸血鬼，他们因为一场那个就是擦鞋子的那个插队事件，然后变成了朋友。但是后面那位杀人犯吸血鬼，他好像在跟伯爵喝酒的时候，突然看到桌上有一张卡，然后翻起来，好像有一串那个英文字。啊，那应该是指某个人的人名啊，那个某个人人名，我在想，他会不会是那个杀人犯的那个吸血鬼啊？他其实并不是出于自愿的，而是有点像是被胁迫，或者是被指派说你要帮我们杀人，然后我们要杀的人就是我们随时会发那个名单那个卡片给你啊，你接到卡片的时候，按照卡片上写的名字把那个人宰的。然后他那时候在喝酒的时候，看到旁边有卡片嘛，然后把卡片翻开之后，可能那个名字就是指着他身旁的那位朋友，所以他把那位朋友给宰的时候，他表现出很悔恨、很不爽的那个样子，然后还把自己把他捅穿的那只右手啊，把他砍下去了。 会不会意味是这样？所以我们还要再去网上去找，说到底是谁指使那位杀人魔去杀人的？
That it committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know. See anything else?
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Detlef. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly, the situation provoked such emotions in Detlef. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Detlef first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Detlef.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
所以我们要去找那位擦鞋子的那个小朋友，然后跟他问那个原因嘛。看一下哦，他应该是这里嘛？这为什么我是？ 不是这个吗？好，这里。啊，这里嘛。
You little fart! So how would you explain it? Whether it pours for a week or the sun bakes our pates, we've always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather! I've seen you. You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots, go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here.
Leave him alone.
Just who the spit are you?
A witcher, and I'd advise you to go back where you came from.
I thought witches defend men from monsters, not cheats from justice.
Need to talk to the boy.
You can chat to him all you like, after we tan his hide. So stand down.
Not gonna happen.
Won't it? Well, then we'll thrash you as well, which is all the same to me.
Batmu will break your legs, vagrant!
Teach
Circle
you
him!
to have
Circle
soft
him!
nose and cheeks.
Lost your nerve?
I'll avenge you, comrade!
Slow now, let's not do anything rash. Let's charge! Take it for a ride!
好。为什么不能拔剑把他们都斩了、啊？我觉得这种会欺负小孩子的败类没资格活在这世界上哎、欸。
What's the meaning of this? The brawl? Who started it?
I'm investigating the beast on the Duchess's orders.
Ah, yes. We've heard of you. And these men.
What are they doing?
Obstructing my investigation.
Understood. Right. A few days in the clink ought to teach them not to impede official duchy business.
这种恶人呢，要给他们最严重的惩罚。
You're very good with your fists, sir. Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Listen, I'm interested in a certain gentleman.
Wait! Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
真的是不愿意放弃那个赚钱的机会。
No boots are clean unless they just come off my stamp. A seat, sir, please. So then, who was it you wanted to ask about?
One of your patrons. Tall, elegant black frock. Not from around here.
我懂了。
An
他
arrival.
他意思，
I hear a faint bell ringing. A modest
他就是
sound that
要
makes
用
it sing
钱，
out
然后我
loud
们才能
and
套出
clear.
他的情报嘛。
Let's say 500 crowns.
干娘，你抢钱哦！
Gotta be kidding me. What would you even do with
500
that
很
kind of
贵耶。
Expand my venture. I'm sure you can imagine. Have a proper stand with a big sign. I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left,
差些小孩是情报商，看看他都是哪一些客人。
Got
也
it all
是
planned
啊。
out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
啊！干为什么不能用迷惑术？我记得我应该有升迷惑术啊。好啦。
All right.
他要500块，我给你啦！妈的！
Ah, see? I knew we'd clinch it.
妈的死小鬼干！好啊，给你钱啦，视钱如命的。妈，你就是谢老板的翻
I
版。
shan't forget it. Now to the matter at hand. I know the fellow you seek, though I don't know his name. A steady patron, gets his boots cleaned every few days. He's very good to me. Always pays me a premium.
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here. Feeling better?
I am, thank you. The local necropolis. The air does wonders for me. Now, if I might intercede, I dare say I've the right question to ask. Young man, you see this vial? One drop added to your boot polish will help you wipe even the most encrusted boot clean as the dome of St. Lebioda's Cathedral. With it, you will serve 3 times as many patrons at a fraction of the effort, and piles more coin. I'm prepared to give you this vial if you tell me where the man we seek
哇，
lives.
干雷吉斯，你这个
But you won't hurt him, will you? The gentleman's odd, true, but he's kind.
In point of fact, he's a friend. Yet we had a falling out of sorts and would like to straighten matters out.
I leave his boots at the door of a house near the port. The door is red, but I do not know if the gentleman lives there.
Worth checking. Might happen on a lead.
Would you let me scrape the dirt off your kickers before you go? With all due respect, sirs, your boots could stand a cleaning.
Thank you. Perhaps later.
妈的，这是一个死要钱的小鬼哎！但他应该有自己的苦衷吧？
Handled that kid pretty well.
黑夜神丸呢
Finding？the right approach. That's the trick to dealing with children.
Yeah, saw that. Meaning the right thing to bribe them with. Red door. One the boot black mentioned.
这里嘛，这上面都他的乌鸦耶。
Won't budge. Gotta break it down.
You might just as well stand out in the street, pound on a drum, and holler, Detlef, I'm coming for you. A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
干！你直接变成烟飞进去，你还叫我们不要像那个大老粗一样哭啊
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
你知道是看到这些乌鸦都让我想到什么吗？恶灵古堡4里面的乌鸦，把他们打死，他们会给钱。你知道看到那么多乌鸦，我就是第一个想法就是，我想要对他们来一发手榴弹，然后让他们变成满地的那个金钱来源。
No, he's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around. Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime.
Disturbing.
Somebody fixed this recently. No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Nice little trinket.
This is no time for idle chatter. We must find Detlef.
那是乌鸦吗？那个是弹药包。弹药包不是吧？那个是我们的那个零钱袋啊。
Tools were used recently. Detlef unwind by fixing toys between murders.
Really now, Geralt, must you?
Nice tune. Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyrin, Count Delacroix.
Detlef's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
All of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite, rare mineral, pretty much found only in
Nazaire, but I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either, especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Still got nothing, basically. Need to look around.
用同样的方式怼那个杰洛特呢。
Woman's likeness. Bit smudged. Is his lover?
I don't rightly know.
Reminds me of someone.
Who?
Not sure. Can't help feeling I've seen that face before, though. Detlef van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renowed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men.
原来如此啊，他是被胁迫的啦。
You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Detlef killed not of his own accord.
A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Any idea what it could be? Detlef have any enemies?
Indeed. Detlef gains foes occasionally, but they never live long.
One might have managed to evade him.
Possible in theory, but I know of none. It would have to be someone devilishly dangerous.
As you well know, having faced Detlef yourself.
Whoever it is someone new.
Who's Renowed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him a time before he came around to save me, though he always claimed she'd gone missing.
Take it you have your doubts.
I know humans better than he does. Their capacity to be disloyal, dishonest. I also know she took her things. Not something one associates with the kidnapped, or those who disappear against their will.
I'll save you the trouble of asking. No, I don't know why she left. I can, however, hazard a guess that Detlef grew angry one day, showed another, more monstrous side. Detlef's anger could frighten anyone off, though most who see it get no chance to flee.
Detlef have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing?
And Detlef is so much more emotional than most humans.
Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Even if Renowed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Detlef's being blackmailed. Someone's been feeding him his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazeri ink, and not in his handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Detlef's innocence, clearly.
Actually, it is. Detlef's being manipulated. Some lunatics turned him into a tool, making him kill.
So it would seem. But this illuminates a path of action for us. We must find Renowed, render the blackmail senseless. The lunatic or ticks will thus lose hold on Detlef.
That's one idea. Could be worth a shot. But what about Detlef? He gonna go on killing while I'm out searching for his lover?
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend seeking to help. I'll await him here. He's sure to return sooner or later.
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No, he'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay alone. You must trust me on this.
Fine. Need to report to the Duchess first.
So be it. We'll await you here. Detlef and I both.
好了，要回去跟那个女公爵回报了。回报说我们终于知道你要找的怪物是谁了。然后我们应该还要想办法帮那个拉夫他开脱他是杀人犯的罪名。反正很简单嘛，就是说他的爱人被别人绑架，然后以此被胁迫之类的。看一下这，哎呦，回来了！我刚刚不知道什么，突然荡了一下，然后整个那个不知道什么原因啊。算了，管他的，反正现在看起来直播回来了。好了。 他是在
I must see a medic. Witcher or not, you've still to bust.
Stop yours.
Wee Willie Witcher runs through the town, upstairs and down.
It's secure.
Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Found the beast of Beauclair. Just couldn't kill it.
We sent you after a monster and you returned with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And Buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed Buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms, but another skirmish.
你想要送死我是没意见呐。
100, doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catacans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What, then, do you intend to do?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a Witcher to kill a monster. Instead, he wishes to chat with it. Ha.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnapped the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. Soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher. You may be right.
其实就有点像是突然告诉对方有一群猴子突然武装起来，武装起义的感觉，会觉得就是一群猴子，但到现场发现是星球崛起那样子，然后直接哭死。你这个比喻好贴切哦，因为就这边，我个人的感觉啊。他们普通人都认为说吸血鬼就是那种低等的只会依照本能行事的，然后完全没有思考能力的那种怪物。
They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Yes. The west bank of the Sala too. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint-Réal, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint-Réal was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Wait, Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while our duchy is in grave danger.
Your Grace, what you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something, but I've made my decision. We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not Your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
哭啊！每次为什么刚刚这个在转入过场动画的时候又给我当了一次，这是完整啊！哭啊！也不过是昨天更新一下驱动而已啊，这是见鬼了！就是我看一下。
This vampire, have you ever faced its sort before?
稍微前一两代的游戏崩溃都可能都是正常
Didn't have
的
to。fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Geralt, why do you flee?
Witcher, come back! You're to protect Her Highness!
Have you ever heard?
因为最初的系统不是在 Windows 上运行的，你要这样说好像也做过，也说得通啊。
Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
从该就能够解决我的问题，就真的还行。只是我目前遇到这个问题，是因为我昨天跟
Hunters have attacked the wagon. We must help.
Stay back, Your Grace. We shall see to this. Help!
Give us
Save
a
us!
choice.
You beast! Be gone!
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
Thank you. You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Greetings, Witcher. Good to see you, Geralt.
They summoned a witcher. Well, why not?
Alright.
Used to tell the rich how to spend their coin.
You smell that?
Run, Roach.
之前有一个游戏突然不能玩，朋友也是，后来一堆人在讲，发现那个游戏过期了，而且不知道怎么会有游戏过期这种问号。它还需要14900加4090来的加持的，别啊！我现在1900K 已经1700K 算用的还不错了，我不需要换到那个12900。过期会臭吗？你要看什么东西过期啊？你像水也会过期啊，但是水过期好像不会有那种异味。
Her illustrious highness? What were you thinking?
Captain, this is not the time for such complaints.
邪神过期2年的味
Next time,
道。
keep close.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
但会落晒，对啊，水过期的水喝下去确实会落晒，因为我以前确实有喝过，就是我那时候暑假的时候，我从那个高雄的租屋处回云林1个月嘛。
I am well.
然后后面再回去，因为大学要开学嘛，我就提前回到我的那个高雄的住所。结果那时候我放在桌上有一个保温瓶嘛，然后那时候忘了把里面水倒掉，我就心想，啊算了，反正水应该也不会过期吧。然后喝下去就连续拉了三天。
Came to see you. Got some questions.
In this land, it is seen as polite to introduce oneself before asking any questions.
This is Geralt
它
of
坐骑
Rivia,
会过
a
期
witcher.
吗？
He has come to
你看
Toussaint
你的
on
过
my
期是
personal
指那
invitation.
个是指那个容貌呢，还是
Which
指
is to
生
say,
命
I
呢？
expect you to treat him with the
反正
utmost
任何东西
respect.
都会过期啦，除了酒之外吧，酒大概高浓度的酒是完全不会有过期的问题，
Fabricio will be delighted
因为
to
因为
answer
它会一直
every
发酵，
question.
一直发酵，然后一直合成更多的酒精。
I am at your
虽然
service.
说我不能喝酒就是了。
Some of this wine might have been stolen. Just a suspicion we have, but any
蜂
burglaries
蜜啊
lately?
啊，蜂蜜
Burglaries.
它
Not
不
to my
它
knowledge.
它没有保
And
存
a
期限
few
吗？
days past, I took stock of the inventory. All was accounted for. The barrels lie safely in the cellar, I assure you.
The San Real. How many vineyard workers have access to it?
One might say only I do.
Not like you make the wine all alone. At least a dozen others work here.
I see you've little notion how wine is made. Grapes travel a long road before they become
纯蜂蜜永远不会过期，这
Assist
好吧，
me
这我
only
确实
to
不
the
知道。
stage of fermentation. I see to the maceration personally and let no one near the fat. Workers, again, assist me during barreling, but then I seal the aging barrels myself, each
因为
and
它是
every one.
糖的，
The wine lies in the cellar, gains character.
因为它是
Once
糖的
this
过饱和物，
process
取
is
消密
complete,
封好。
it becomes Sonreal. And as it happens, only I have the key to the cellar in question.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace, how am I to understand this?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to San Real. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things.
顺便说一下酒，
Either you lie to our face, or
Joe
you are an
Small.
idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for
酒会变成醋，然后
it.
臭掉。
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers.
看你说，哇塞，这个
Remind
公爵好凶哦！
Where is this Unreal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Oh, of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
所以酒跟醋是同样东西哦。我一直以为说酒是酒，醋是醋哎。看一下这边有没有那个，这边是北面这里，但这边好像没有那个没有标记。酒精加氧气，然后经过醋的什么醋酸菌的作用下，就会变成醋酸加水，就直接变成那个嘛。
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
啊，算了，要吵到医生。酒精会转变成醋酸，然后醋酸会再分解产生更多，会再分解酒精产生更多醋酸，所以才会说酒越陈越香哈，越陈越香是因为它被分解成醋酸吗？
Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
Ervelous. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the... I have a feeling we'll find something awry.
1269份的。
Got Pomino over here. Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
奇怪，不是？如果不是这里的话，那是哪里呀？它中间还有那个吗？上面还有那个还有路
San Real. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
我以为这里的那个什么，那放酒的地窖里面会有 N 百桶那个 N 百桶酒，结果看起来这个规模好小哦。
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek. This one is full.
Full. This one's full too. Full. This one's full too.
好怪哦，怎么都
Looks like
满
all the
的？
barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Sanrial? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ready. We can start. Ready.
Step aside.
So?
Those hints of spice. Distinctive. This is Sonreal.
"哇塞，他们为了检查，然后不惜把这边的桶子全部都直接提前开起来，哎，那这样不就代表这里的酒都这样被开起来，不就代表酒不能喝了？
Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
看来确实是真的会师傅干的事情啊。
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But your grace, I...
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Sonreal. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
其实找个塞子塞住就好了，因为酿酒也需要评测。
To buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything if you agree to show me mercy.
Who do you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonreal.
看来我们要去找这位所谓的中间人了。
This man's name.
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrian aristocrat at court.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it, have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabricio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge.
哇塞，叛国罪这，你不过就倒卖一桶葡萄酒而已，为什么要叛国罪啊？这好重哦，这不符合比例原则吧？哎，大姐，
I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
你这不符合比例原则吧
As you say, let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
We will set out now. Position ourselves before you arrive. You take the cart and meet us there.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal.
漂亮国的禁酒令，你说美国的禁酒令吗？但是他们那时候禁酒令应该是禁止好像某个浓度以上的酒吧。我记得好像低浓度酒精还是能够贩卖的样子吧。
Our favorite vintner.
就不能卖，那我就卖浓缩葡萄汁。这个梗我知道。然后而且上面还会附一张纸条说：注意，请不要按照以下步骤制作，否则会变成葡萄酒，是吧？
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Wait a moment. I was wrong about you.
Don't need to like each other. Just gotta do our jobs.
If that's how you wish to treat it. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to Her Grace. She awaits nearby.
Wait, she here?
I hope you did not think I would leave this to you alone, especially when every hour could prove essential. This prisoner of yours,
这位
bring
公
him to
爵
me. We must
公
ask
爵
him
女
some
士还真
questions.
是不按牌理出牌呀、不能卖帽子，那我就卖马铃薯1颗300，然后附一颗帽子。
Who sent you? His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother. Once again, who sent you? Your nun's lover. They call him...
Wait. He doesn't wish to speak. He needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be
快
helpful.
用心灵控制的那个嘛，用心灵控制，然后问出他的话。
What?
Sure can. Fresh out.
In that case, he's all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Barrels. Where were you gonna take them?
I don't know.
Captain, need that rope after all.
I truly don't know. Hornet's the leader, only he ever knew where to go. But he lies over there, dead. That one. The first barrel went to a warehouse at the port. But where this one was bound, I don't know. I speak true. You must believe me.
Who hired you?
He'll kill me.
Ought to be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Centurion. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Centurion. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Centurion. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
所以看起来应该是有人想要搞这个公果啊。
It's late.
Relax, he'll come.
他在等谁啊？
I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
啊，我知道，他在等那个吸血鬼，是不
Side
是
effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Centurion appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Centurion's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Centurion, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Oh, 队长。
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Centurion does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, We identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event going to be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville in Mountebank Alley.
我们是杀吸血鬼需要大蒜黑狗血、桃木剑、黄符、糯米，还有十字架手里剑。不是，你是把那个林正英大战吸血鬼的那个剧情全部都说一遍了吧？啊，为什么要那么多东西啊？穿上安娜认为合适的，不要，我不要穿那个我不要穿他们那个礼服，他们的礼服超难看的啊。
Standing on this curb with the price on his head, it's him! Get him! Cut off his escape!
Didn't look like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunted man.
看来真的有人在悬赏我们啊！
Quite the fragrant whiff.
这边，然后。 这边嘛，接下来
Nice tune.
OK。
Late. Now, why does that not surprise me?
Oh, 哦，这应该是那个吧？哎，还真的哎，那公爵。
Oh, Geralt, Geralt. I knew I should have taken you to the palace, handed you over to my tailor. Whatever are you wearing?
Sorry, didn't have time to change.
Luckily, I prepared for just such an eventuality. Here, don this doublet. Its cut is all the rage these days.
还真的硬要我们穿那个难看的东西呀、紧身裤，我的天哪！
Not all bad. Nothing like a budding artist, of course, but just one other detail. Here, put it on.
那我猜面具。
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Let's go. Soiree started.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain.
即便没武器，我们杰洛特还会法术啊，虽然只是猎魔人的那种。所以你
How do we find this Intrian?
你的大萝莉套装了，可以不要再提那个东西吗？那个会让我产生那个会让我有 PTSD 啊。
As soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
好，走吧。
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Bellant.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
哦，他给的提示还真那个啊。
Lion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
但这里恩好抱怨艺术家跟乞丐一样穷。不是那个是叫丹德里恩吧？
They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us.
Good folk!
It's a paradigm manifested.
Paradigm, all the dead.
A stone subtle soul requires great precision.
那这个要怎么找啊？我天哪！
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful
天
punch.
区间企划如
Built
何
up a pretty powerful resistance.
我们杰洛特晕了。
Please do not disturb.
Wine puts me tired. Wine renders all art digestible.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array.
Come, let's look in the
A
alcove.
stone subtle soul requires great precision.
She ought to be in one of the alcoves.
不是有个丢油漆桶的那个吗？
Please do
Come,
not
let's look
disturb.
in the alcove.
One false move is ruinous to the entire communal effort.
啊，算了。
Do take care, Witcher.
This is definitely done. Let's go. Your boards, as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle for power and influence.
A metaphor. What else will they think of? If they can't agree, they want to cut the line. A beautiful constant struggle.
该是这里吧。
Stipend.
We must throw off the manacles.
Cecilia, never. We are busy.
But it's an outrage.
Consider yourself greeted.
好多植物哦。
Employer swears it. Besides,
Please leave. This is a private alcove.
那不是这里啊，被锁住了。这什么烂画、啊？这随便泼一个油漆就可以说是这是画吗？
We must throw off the manacles of form. Venture beyond the bounds of cognition.
他是说是在这里吗？
Never should have performed.
What's that?
那这里好像还有一扇门呢，但是。
Yushu, we wish to be alone. We are busy.
Are you leave us be? Please leave. This is a private alcove.
这里不能过哎，还是说它是有其他的地方啊？
Outrage.
Aren't they even?
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Sorry, artists in the Mandragora and their guests only.
不能过哎，他这边好那个哦。
Please go.
好啦，走啦，走啦。
But what if he doesn't come?
he'll definitely.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things.
在美国的墙上粘一个香蕉也可以卖好几万。你说那个艺术展嘛，那个我知道啊，那个很闹哎，但是他某种程度上也是在讽刺那些人啊。
Don't rush about so.
Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretentious. Blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. It's all about tooth.
反正看不懂就叫做艺术。
Do not disturb. Shoo, shoo.
It's the right flower.
Of course it is. A Kaviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still. You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me?
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait once.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but alas, ultimately refused my terms.
What was the matter?
When he learned I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with such a
反
proposition.
正看不懂，一说就是伪，
Always longed
然后
to
看不懂
paint
就叫
her.
艺术。
Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
照这样来看，你干脆粘一堆头，把一堆头发粘在墙上，然后作品叫做程序员的悲哀。 你这样调侃说程序员都只会掉法吗？
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Centrian Noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Centrian Noble. Ah, you must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift, a heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
算了，反正我们问到我们需要的东西了。
Love letter penned on a napkin. Look.
Oh, my amour, my sunbeam flittering across the firmament of my life.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions. Empty, heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
It is irrelevant to the work's ultimate meaning.
Hmm?
I titled this sculpture The Beast's Suffering. It represents the problems of contemporary man. Are they even? Because the right
果然他一定就是来这边，然后在那个守卫后面。
As I said, only Mandragora artists allowed. Nothing I can do.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh. Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs.
我跟你说，他这个公众侍从还真的那个。哦，这里。啊，他被割喉了。
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana at once. She should bring her soiree to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
他应该是要杀那个人，应该是要杀人灭口的，因为他知道这家伙会那个。
Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Bloody handprint. It's his. Tore down the door, made a platform. Clever. Must be pretty strong, too. Must have climbed this ladder, the flower pot when moving the door, then stepped in the soil. Footprints, made by soiled boots. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it hard, then sank to the floor.
我有看鬼灭吗？没有。我是有断断续续看一下他的漫画版，但是我并没有把他的整个动画都看过。
Locks busted, picked open probably. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Precious stone, bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this, must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Hunting knife, richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything in full detail.
但这样子的话，不就等于说他们找的线索又断了吗？因为他们目前只是到那个他们要找一个叫辛特拉人嘛。
Attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it many years ago from a young woman.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The Heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Son Real and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether.
哎，对，如果按照杰洛特这样推测的话，他确实有可能。
She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
Huh?
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true?
啊，是因为这样子，是因为错过时辰才出生，就这样子。
Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth, isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die. at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift, at a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl. Someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Siana is there, you must find her.
这怎么越来越像8点档的狗血剧了啊
in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
I'll find her if she's there.
I hope you do. I very much wish to talk to her. Sister to sister.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlef van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
就是
We
那
are
那
lending
位
our
恶兽
combined
嘛。
resources to the Witch's Hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages, literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
Seems surprised. Why?
I never would have suspected Regis to find common ground with a Witcher.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only 2 options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. For what might a monster wish to apologize to a Witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trade for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
这边看得出来是杰洛特要跟那个雷吉斯单独的聊一下，为什么要那么快把他
An
带过来
exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher,
And the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detloff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detlef believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore. That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renner.
Oriana, she really your friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long. But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
我觉得这个完全不是巧合哎、欸！你不要跟我说那个他那位恶兽，就是那位杀人魔，就是要来这边宰的那个公爵女士哎、欸。
Guessing it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed. No, a dutiful little bird told us.
Oh, 又是乌鸦哦。
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renner must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detloff, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got a way with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detloff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detloff. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlef. Ah, I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish the second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out?
看来是这边要变成是杰洛特要不要跟他说那个什么，跟他说什么情报了，是吧？
You have exceptional friends. This Detlef, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count de la Croix Mill. It stands along the Saône Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
好了，那我看来我们今天就先玩到这边吧。反正 反正目前的抽丝剥茧出来的结果就是，杀人魔他并不是自愿要去杀那些人的，他是被指使的。而我们从这边所播出来的是，那位幕后的藏镜人，他可能是在某一个不知道什么地名的那个城堡那边，然后很有可能就是我们那位女公爵的被放逐的姐姐。那这样就很，如果假设这个是真的的话，那会变成说我们但我怎么感觉说它的主线应该不会那么短呢？因为以上一篇十之星的主线而言，它的长度很长十之星的长度很长而血与酒它的整体。血与酒它比十之星还更有诚意，十之星是在原本既有的地图上所做的那个什么新的那个故事剧情，而血与酒是直接额外建立一张地图所以我觉得血与酒的剧情应该不会那么简单哦，因为那么简单的话，那感觉就有点对不起血与酒他的那个用心程度了。好了，那我们今天就先这样子啊！也谢谢各位愿意抽空来看我的巫师3的游戏实况这样子，那各位也辛苦啦。我明天的话，因为一样是下午会开会，所以明天晚上大概率就是突发。只是我觉得应该很难，明天应该是不会突发，因为算了，管他的。反正就是我明天会把下个礼拜周表给弄出来，那我们下次见的时候应该就是礼拜2了礼拜2的话，我预定应该是玩《P 的谎言》。好啦，那就先这样子各位，那我们就下次直播再见啦。那祝各位一夜好眠哦，晚安，拜拜。